Welcome! Being able to complete medication reviews on screen within the Kroll system has been a much anticipated feature that is now available in version 10, along with some improved faxing and scanning capabilities. Let's start by filling a prescription for a patient. If this patient is eligible, triggered by their age and the number and type of prescriptions entered in their profile, and prompting has been configured, you should be presented with the following options upon adjudication. If you select Undecided, you will receive this prompt again for the next prescription filled for this patient. Never prompt for this patient will mean you won't receive this prompt again for this patient. Do not prompt until will allow you to set a specific date that you want the prompt to appear again. Do not prompt me until the next time the patient comes in suppresses prompting for the rest of the day. Here, I'm going to select Add to Med Review Queue. When you're ready to act on these med reviews, you can do this from two areas. The first is from the Start screen. Select F9 Workflow. Then select Medication Reviews in the right-hand pane. Here, you can see all pending med reviews. They can be pending to complete the review or pending to claim the fee. This will display for all pending patients. You would highlight the patient from the list and select F to call it up. Alternatively, you can go directly to the specific patient card. Take note of the areas where you can enter the allergies, medical conditions, and family doctor so that they will be pre-printed on the report. When a family doctor is entered here, it will be automatically selected upon filling a prescription. Note that you always have the option to override it at the time of fill. From the patient card, in the right-hand pane, select Medication Review Dialogues. You'll notice a new profile appear. You can select New Review Dialog to create a new review, or highlight a pending review and call it up. The Medication Review RX selection box appears. By default, all prescriptions in the Pre-Selected tab are included. These are active prescriptions where the fill date or day supply is not older than 30 days. Other RXs are those prescriptions where the fill date or day supply is older than 30 days. For unfills, and not dispensed, you're able to search for these prescriptions within a specified date range and include them in the report. Discontinued prescriptions are those filled within the last 6 months that are currently inactive. Click OK when you've made all of your selections. The Medication Assessment screen now appears. Under the Questions tab, ask the patient the following questions and record their answers using the options in the drop-down menu. Note that if you select Yes, a new field appears in order for you to type a quantity. These questions represent where you would circle yes or no on the printed paper. If you leave any of these questions unanswered, the system assumes you'll be manually marking this later. It's recommended that you don't leave any of these unanswered. Then proceed to fill in the following information per your discussion with the patient. These headers do print on the report. Click Next to move on to the next tab. The medical history displays those prescriptions you selected to be included in the report. For each medication listed, record if the patient is currently taking it with the yes or no option. Record their reason for taking it in the indications area and any general comments in the comments field. Indications will be pre-populated only if you've manually entered them upon filling the prescription. This can be done in this area of the F12 fill screen. Click Insert to record an indication. Change your search criteria if necessary. Then select a condition from the list. This must be saved prior to beginning a med review in order for it to appear. Complete this information for the rest of the medications listed. If for some reason, instead of selecting No, you simply want to remove a prescription from the report, you can use the Delete button. It is possible to add prescriptions back by clicking the Select Rx's for Review button. Before selecting this option, however, you should save the med review first and come back to it, otherwise any answers you've entered in the Questions tab would be reset. In the Non-Prescription Medications tab, click Insert to record any OTCs, herbals, or supplements the patient is taking that were not recorded in Kroll, along with any comments. The same can be done in the Rx's from Other Pharmacies tab. If you have their PIP profile up on another screen, you can reference that and enter the information accordingly here. You can then add any general or pharmacist comments. General comments will always print, whereas pharmacist comments you have the option to print them or hide them and just view them electronically within Kroll. Before we go ahead and finalize this review, let's go over some of the options available on the sidebar. At any time, you can choose to print or preview the med review. It will reflect any information you had entered at the time. The Select Rx's for Review option allows you to select which prescriptions to include in the report. The View Follow-ups option allows you to create a reminder for the patient regarding this med review. As encounters have been removed in version 10, moving forward, this is where you would make a note for yourself on encounters or follow-ups. Let's enter an example. Fill in the appropriate fields and then click Save. Let's take a look at where we can see this on the Start screen. From the Start screen, select Follow-ups. Edit your date range if necessary, and you'll see your new follow-up created here. Now let's go back to the med review. These options here are just for reference and are also available if you're looking at the regular patient profile. You can view any charting you've recorded for the patient. This is in terms of their weight, height, blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and so on. These values are manually entered into the system. You can also view any documents or their med review history in Kroll. Here, you can view their prescription profile. The last step would be to finalize the review. You want to ensure that this is the final version of the med review for this patient. After clicking on this, you won't be able to edit it. You can use the Save for Later option if you still need to go back in and make changes. In the screen that appears, you can edit the date and record the pharmacist that performed the review. Then click OK. Electronic signatures have been configured in this system, so this is when you will be prompted to have the patient sign. Once complete, you'll be prompted to have the pharmacist sign. Note that if you turn the electronic signature option on, you must obtain digital signatures for every electronic med review completed. Once the signatures have been obtained, the system will prompt you to print a copy of the medication review. This can be the copy that you give to the patient. You can edit the number of copies that print here. Here's the option mentioned to print or not print the pharmacist's comment. Let's take a look at an example. Carefully review each page to ensure the information is correct. Once printing is complete, the system will automatically take you to the F12 fill screen in order to bill. Now let's take a look at how to view your completed med reviews. From the medication review profile, highlight the review and select F2 to view the details. You can view the information that you've entered in the various tabs. Notice that you're not able to edit any information. You also have the option to view signatures, and the option to reprint the review. If you scanned your med reviews back into the system, you would have an additional Documents tab where the scanned document can be viewed. This is also accessible under Patient Documents. Let's take a look at an example. Now let's go over some of the statuses that you can see in this column here. Pending reviews are those that have been initiated but not yet completed. Printed paper are those reviews that have been initiated on screen and a copy has been subsequently printed. Completed reviews are those that have been completed on screen. Billed with no documentation refers to those reviews where you've billed for the fee in the F12 fill screen, but there's been no prior entry entered in this profile. Now let's go over the fee statuses. There's no fee applicable for those reviews that have not been completed yet. Fees can also be pending a claim. Claimed indicates that the fee has been billed for. The last thing that we'll go over is some of the reports that you can generate around med reviews. The first is the Expanded Scope of Practice report. You can find this under Reports, RX, Expanded Scope of Practice report. This provides a summary and breakdown of the fee-for-service prescriptions grouped by the filling pharmacist. You need to make sure the drugs are marked as fee-for-service drugs in order for them to appear on the report. This refers to this area in the drug card. A more detailed report is the Medication Review Summary report. You can find this under Reports, Other, Medication Review Summary Report. Here, you can see the pending reviews, billed reviews, and a summary. This concludes our training module. Thank you.